Good morning! Today I will be showing the most effective way I found to organise my notes during high school, which I graduated from last year in 2019. My friends in my year and now the years below would often ask how I was doing it, and because I like to film things and edit things, here's a video. So it's pretty simple, and I'm sure many people are using a variation of this method already, but these specific rules really make it easy to upkeep organisation and know where everything is. It is designed specifically for the Australian HSC system, but there are plenty of strategies that could work with other systems too. I use OneNote, which is pretty great and very easy to access on the phone as well, but you can use whatever app you like or physical organisation. Start with creating a section for your year or grade. For example, year 12. Second, under that section, create folders for each subject, and these can be physical folders. I also like to create an extra folder called Other, which you can use for non-academic but school-related items, just so they're out of the way. Fourth, under each subject, start with creating a page or binder tab called Important Information. Under this, put all links and resources you know will be important to that subject. This section is also where you put anything that's applicable to the whole subject. For example, here in Studies of Religion, I had some exam strategy notes. You can also put your teacher's general wisdom in here. You know when they say something great and you're like, oh, that's awesome, it applies to everything, but if I write this in this random page of my notebook, I'm never going to find it again. Put that stuff in important information. Sometimes they'll say something like, I love it when students use Times New Roman, I think it makes essays look really professional. Or when I don't see a date at the top of the page, I know that they haven't listened to me. Put that stuff down there too, because you can use that intel for your next assessment. I also usually keep a glossary of relevant terms in this section, but for subjects like English or languages where vocabulary is really important, create a whole nother page. Fifth, create subheadings for each topic you will be studying in that subject. For example, under English Advanced, we have the Common Module, Module A, B, and C. In Studies of Religion, there were a bunch, including depth studies on Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. And in art, I had a section on art making and another section on art criticism and history. Under these topics, make sure you have the syllabus. For example, in English Advanced, we have the Common Module syllabus here, and other important information that applies directly to the topic. Here you can see I pulled out the important terms and made some notes on answering questions in this section. This is also where I like to keep my practice essays. So for example, Module A, you might write an essay when you finish the topic in the middle of the year, send it in, make the changes, and then you'll keep it in a document titled something like Module A Essay. By the time you do your trials and your final exams, you're going to have written like 8 of them, and it's going to be very confusing which one is the most recent. So what I would do is throughout the year, when I would have got them back and I made the changes, I'd copy and paste the whole thing with the question and just put it here. And that way you end up with a nice chronological list of hopefully slowly improving essays on this topic that you can look back on. And you can see that I've done this here in English Advanced and also here in Extension. A little tip, I like to keep a cut section, which is basically where you put anything you scrapped from your essays, maybe a paragraph or a sentence because you thought it didn't work or just because you were over the word limit. That way you can have it there just in case you need it. You can see I've done this here in Studies of Religion with my Christian environmental ethics notes. 7. Make use of subtopics, especially if you study a couple texts under each topic. For example, in drama, there were 2 plays under each topic. In English Extension, we studied 5 texts under one topic. And here in Studies of Religion, there are a bunch of subtopics under each religion. Of course, use Google Docs or Word or Pages or whatever you like to use to type up your actual assessments, but these subsections are where you should keep your notes and your classwork. In the subtopics section, that is where I like to keep the information relating to the assessment tasks that were about that topic. So for example, we can see in my advanced English section, under module A, we have assessment task 1. For some subjects like languages, that doesn't work so well. Don't worry about that, just make a whole other heading for it. Now, if you like organising online like me, but your teachers aren't a fan of over-reliance on technology, you can still use the online system, just take these 4 extra steps. Create subject folders that match your virtual folders and just keep them at home. Get a large folder, create dividers that match your subjects and put paper in between, and you bring this to school each day. This binder is where you can take your notes and do your classwork when your teacher doesn't want you to use your computer. Also, if you're in a subject where the teacher really likes to use handouts, you can keep them in here. Each night or once a week or however often you like to do it, type up the important things in your folder into the online system. And finally, at the end of each term or whenever you finish a topic, clear out the subject into the folders at home. That way you can make sure that the folder you take to school every day doesn't get too heavy and your folders at home have all the information you need in the right place, easy to access. This virtual physical combo works really well for me. Let me know if you have any thoughts or comments below, and I hope you learned something from this.